While everybody is so busy trying to analyze Hamas's motives and objectives and the timing of its latest military resistance operation against Israel, we are neglecting to actually think about those young people who have joined the resistance in Gaza, knowing that many of them will not survive. Indeed, hundreds, most likely have already been killed in the fighting. Why do they do this in the first place? And no, please don't listen to what Israel says. No, Palestinians don't have tendency to violence and terrorism. They are oppressed, colonized people. They have to fight and resist and defend themselves. They have no other option. You see, when Israel imposed a siege on Gaza in 2006, 2007, people in Gaza never left Gaza. 46 or 47% of Gazan society are children. That's according to Save the Children. This means that the majority of Gazans are young people, vast majority of whom never stepped a foot outside this tiny little stretch called the Gaza Strip, one of the poorest places on earth. They have no rights, they have no freedom, and they never even been able to relate to what freedom is, like the rest of the Palestinians. But Gaza is a particularly difficult case. You see, the vast majority of everything that is available to you is not available to them. You take water for granted, don't you? They can't. 97%, some reports say 99% of all water in Gaza is polluted. The things you take for granted as seeing a doctor, they can't. Because even if they were lucky enough to see a doctor, there is no medication. And if, God forbid, you have an illness that requires some serious treatment, in their cases, they die. So they join the resistance because there is no other option but to join the resistance with the hope that maybe they can score some kind of a victory against Israel and leverage that victory to achieve the things that you and many like you and myself take for granted. So before you jump into conclusion and try to analyze and deconstruct and refer to Hamas as Hamas this and Hamas that, maybe you need to put things in perspective. And imagine yourself a Palestinian living in Gaza, or behind walls in the West Bank, or having your home demolished or bombed or confiscated by a court order under the protection of the military, and you can't do a damn thing about it. Imagine you are in that position. Imagine you being us, being a Palestinian. Maybe you will also be as angry as we are. I don't try to justify violence. Trust me, I have lived in a refugee camp all my life, and if there is anything that I hate more than anything, it's violence. We actually want the opposite of that. We want peace. But peace that is predicated on justice. Peace that is true and lasting. Peace that gives us dignity, gives us hope, gives us basic human rights, gives us freedom, gives us education, gives us proper lives, and gives us the knowledge that my life is safe, that a bomb is not going to fall on my house at any day and at any time, that I can actually go to my school or to work or go somewhere and come back and know that my children are going to be safe. We don't have that. And we haven't had this for generations. What is happening in Palestine right now, what's happening in Gaza in particular, is 2.3 million people who just don't give you know what anymore. They're fed up. They're fed up. And they have been begging and bleeding. International solidarity, please stand with us. Stand with Palestine. Free Gaza. Nothing happened. So they took matters into their own hands. You don't have to cheer for them. I don't have to post their photos with inspirational messages on social media. At least try to understand. And please don't criticize, because you are not in that situation. Only when you are in that situation, you earn the right to be part of the conversation. And perhaps just then, you might be able to understand what Palestinians go through every single day of their existence.